Christian relationships are a scary thing. At least they are to start, because they mean being vulnerable. Pastor John asked me to take a minute today to tell you why I think that despite that fear that may keep you wanting to hold back, they're so vitally important. We lived in Florida for about 11 years. During that time period, we were part of 2 different small groups. We were part of one that we were peripherally a part of. We attended the group, we attended outings with the group, but we really never let ourselves be vulnerable and to be open to letting our feelings be known by this group of people. That was our downfall. That was something that we missed. We should have been more willing to do that, but we didn't know at the time. During the time that we were associated with that group of people as a part of the church that we were attending, my husband was diagnosed with melanoma, and he was given only a small chance to live. It was a very, very scary time in our lives, and I felt abandoned by the church at that time. Looking back, it was as much my fault as anybody else's, because I abandoned the church long before they abandoned me. I never really took on the kind of role that would allow the church to be able to step in and say, hey, we see that you're going through this, because I didn't open myself up to anybody. Fast forward a few years, we've made it through the cancer treatment. We have gone on. Our daughter is now, at that point, was 4, and she was thriving and was doing very well. We were beginning to be a part of the Journey of Life startup group, the core team that helped to develop the early stages of Journey of Life. And we were excited. We were doing something important. Initially starting, I thought we were doing something important to help the work of God. We were, don't get me wrong. I didn't know the work that God was going to do through me, or in me, through being a part of this group of people. As a result of the relationships that I built with that core group of people, the Callisons, Sarah Joyce Warchendruber, John Brooks, and I know I'm going to leave people out, Pastor John, and the Wilkies, and Randy, Stephan, and his wife, Jody. As a result of those ties that we made with those groups of people, my life was forever changed. In the summer of 2004, my husband had been diagnosed again with a different critical, very serious condition. This one was a respiratory condition, and he had to go through a very complex medical treatment. We were assured he'd be in the hospital for a few days, and then he might have a week or so of recovery once he came home, but overall everything would be fine. So we went into this knowing that this was the plan. I was very blessed to have the understanding that this core group of people was behind me, praying for Mike, knowing that God was in control. So I wasn't worried. 4 days turned into 8, turned into 16. By the end of it all, he had been in the hospital on a ventilator for just short of a month. And He was released from the hospital the day before Hurricane Charlie came roaring through Orlando. The support that we found through Journey of Life at that time was make it or break it for me. I don't think that I could have gone through that and not had the support that I found from my brothers and sisters at Journey of Life. There were 3 places that I wanted to be during that time. One was with my husband, obviously. 2 was with my daughter, because I knew how much she needed me. But the 3rd place that I would have not given, that I would not have thought about not being, was at my Tuesday night Bible study. Because there was where I could recharge. There was where I could let down, I could cry, I could question, I could rail at God if I needed to. And sometimes I felt like I did. But I always knew that the people that were there understood. They knew me. They knew who I was. They knew that what I was going through was one of those life-defining moments. And their prayers and their hands on me and their support for me was the hand of God in my life. It was God reaching down and putting His hand on them, so that as they put their hands on me in prayer, and in hugs, and just in general support, I knew that God had reached out and touched me. God had changed my life. God had done these things, not these people. These people will always be an essential part of my life and my memory of my time in Florida. We miss you all so much. We wouldn't give up what we have established here, but if we could find a way to just kind of transport the entire Journey of Life body of people. You guys all feel like you need to move, come to Fort Wayne. We would love to have you, because we miss you greatly. And we look forward to the day that we can come to visit you. Thank you for your time, and we will talk to you soon.